Alright, y'all, we do know that over the past few weeks, a lot of simmers have announced that they're leaving the EA Creator Network, and there's some simmers who are being skeptical that a lot of them are joining the Sims Creator Program, which is working more closely with Maxis instead of EA. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the EA buyout controversy, leadership changes, and a lot of uncertainty about the future of the Sims and the franchise, and also where Andrew Wilson stands in general with what is going on. We're also going to be getting a little bit into Rachel Franklin. For those who don't know, Rachel Franklin is actually put back on into, being an executive over at EA, and we're going to be talking a little bit about the sim gurus and where they stand. We do know a couple of sim gurus left the franchise not too long before this, and where Maxis is holding on for, representation, diversity, and overall their jobs. A little bit of AI, a little bit of what the Sims community is at right now, and as well as just the team in general. So with that all being said, stay tuned. Everything will be timestamped. And what is up, guys? My name's Asemian. My name is Yan. I play simulation games. Do you see what I did there? I do a lot of sim news. So if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you're new here, if you have anything you want me to cover, go ahead and let me know down below in the comments, and I will do my best to do my research and, fulfill what you guys are wanting to hear. So with that all being said, we are going to be talking about, unfortunately, the Sims and how the EA buyout backlash has been just one thing after another. A lot of simmers have left the EA Creator Network. That's no surprise. It's been all over the internet, but a lot of people are stating what's going to be going on with the people at Maxis and how they're feeling about this. The people at Maxis is trying to let the simmers know that they are still going to be standing true through creativity and diversity and representing backgrounds and, story type that a lot of simmers can play. But with a lot of sim creators leaving and saying, deuces to the EA Creator Network, a lot of people are having speculation on, moving on and going more towards the creator program. Now, if you're not familiar with the Sims creator program, it did get introduced back earlier when the Sims was announcing their going green and their big franchise update. They did state that they were introducing the Sims creator program, and the Sims is collaborating. And over the years, the Sims has watched the franchise grow. And with this will allow a lot of simmers to work more closely with the franchise. Now, there is an FAQ, and I do want to reiterate the difference between the Sims Creator Program and the EA Creator Network is that they're made to work in tandem. So the Sims Creator Program upholds the values, goals, and strategies that serve our sim creators. The EA Creator Network is home to EA's creator across its game and is one of the tools to provide many of the important perks and franchise-specific access and opportunities. The Sims Creator Program operates using the Creator Network, and it's none of the channels where once approved as a sim creator, you can expect to hear from our team. So a lot of people are saying, well, it's the same thing. I'm already a member of the EA Creator Network, but not the Sim Creator Program. How can I request to join the Sims Creator Program? And if you are a member of the EA Creator Network and have the Sims listed as your primary franchise, you're already in the Sims Creator Program. Please reach out to your local POC to find out what opportunities and perks you can access. So a lot of people are saying, well, you're still working apart with EA. So at the end of the day, whether you're in the Sims Creator Program or the EA Creator Network, at the end of the day, you are still supporting EA and the decisions. So I'm curious to know down below in the comments, do you guys feel like this is more something along the route that stays with the team of Maxis? Because again, there is a lot of backlash going on in regards to Maxis and stating that it's not the people at Maxis' fault that this is going on. They weren't there at the table when the deal was being made, and that they still have love for the game, and and they put that out there. They put the statement out stating, hey, we're still going to be here. We're still the Sims. We still love you. We do know all the news that's coming out, but again, we are still in love with this game, and we don't want EA to affect what we all have going on. So me personally, after reading that FAQ, I don't know, it does seem like the Sims Creator Program is still involved with the EA network, but do y'all think it's a more, way to just support the sim gurus rather than EA itself, considering that you're working a little bit more closer to the franchise and not EA as a company as a whole? It's a little, topic that I'm curious to know your opinions down below in the comments. I had to cover this, so let me know what y'all think. Now, we are going to be talking in regards to Samantha Ryan leaving and Rachel Franklin and the future of the Maxis, DLC, AI. Now, again, I'm really curious to know your opinions down below after Investor Day happened, where, a lot of stocks dropped with EA. So I wonder if this is something that they saw coming, or if this is something that Andrew Wilson was like, you know what, this is where we're going to go, and this is why we decided to do the deal. Now, this an EA Investor Day was way before the EA buyout was announced. So a lot of simmers are wondering, did this have to do with the EA buyout, and then, with everything dropping as far as the stocks? So Andrew Wilson has not been outspoken about the buyout. He's only been outspoken about the game, and of course not just the Sims in general, but EA and where it stands. Now, again, with Rachel Franklin, Rachel Franklin took Samantha Ryan's place as EA executive, and and again, I do think it's interesting because she is going to be overseeing Maxis and other studios. And Rachel Franklin, she's a longtime simmer, and will definitely, a lot of people do remember her from the beginning, and she was one of the main public faces of The Sims 4 during its early years. She's returning as, an executive at EA, and once again, she is connected to Maxis, so she does understand the foundation of where Maxis started. And that is giving a lot of simmers mixed feelings. On one hand, people are stating that Rachel has real history with the Sims team, and, the Sims team, and seems to understand its creative DNA, and like what is actually going on within the game. And on the other hand, a lot of simmers are, she's still an EA executive. So, which makes people wonder how much freedom does she really have to protect Maxis, from all this corporate pressure that just in general EA is now facing due to this buyout. And will it still be the same? So there's a lot of things that are up in the air in regards to, EA, Maxis, and I'm just really curious how y'all feel about Rachel Franklin. I don't feel like y'all should have high hopes. In my personal opinion, I do feel like at the end of the day, she works for EA. Yes, she's going to be overseeing studios like Maxis, and maybe there can be some sentimental value within that, and stating like, I've worked with this company, I've worked with them before, I don't want anything, just leave Maxis alone, let's focus on the other ones like EA Sports. But again, we just don't know, we're not in the room, so we only know what is told to us in public. But I do want to quickly talk about people talking about DLCs and AI and what's going on. Now again, Andrew Wilson did state that AI impact on video games is coming and it's going. Now, they weren't shy about this at all during Investor Day. They did state that AI is officially coming to The Sims. So not only did EA announce that AI was coming to the Sims itself, the Maxis studio did state that, hey, we're involving AI in our game. Some people call it the inevitable. Some people are stating that this is something that can be decided. This should have been a poll. And again, the Sims community, and I'll link this article down below, they did talk about, EA partnering with AI companies to assist with the game development. And this is not nothing new. Again, during Investor Day, they did announce that they're trying to make sure that, when you look up in The Sims a house, AI can generate a house that you're looking for and make it. And same thing with, facial recognition that's going on within The Sims. Now, again, this is stating that this is all supposed to be, they didn't give us a timeline, but they did say this is coming in The Sims. As far as The Sims 4 or Project Renee, no one knows, but I do feel like this is something that is not gonna not happen because of the way he is talking about it and promoting it and pushing it. And again, even the BP creative of EA saying, with Stability AI, we're amplifying that creativity, and it's giving artists, designers, and developers more room just to live out their creativity. So a lot of people are having mixed emotions about this. Let me know down below in the comments, because I know some simmers are just absolutely not with AI. Some people are like, you know what, this is just the inevitable. Would love to know your opinions. And I do feel for the people at Maxis, because I do feel like they're tied to this, unfortunately, against their will. And it's either their job or, some people can't just leave their jobs. So there's a lot that's going on over the past couple of weeks, and I'm trying to keep y'all informed. I know this video might seem all over the place, but there's just so much, and I'm just trying to make the timeline make sense. And I do want to quickly talk about Sim Guru's leaving, just the franchise in general. We do know that Sim Guru Grant stated that he was leaving, and he didn't have a job lined up because he was just like, this is just not my priority anymore. I just can't do it with the way, the Sims team is running, and I'm out of here. And Sim Guru Grant was very vocal about his leave, and he didn't have another job lined up, and he was even asking people, if you know anything that's going on, let me know. So the fact that he decides to just pick up and leave, a lot of people are looking at a lot of the Sim, gurus and stating, are y'all either gonna leave, or why can't y'all leave like Sim Guru Grant did? And I feel like it's not right to put that kind of pressure on someone, especially when it comes down to their job and how they're feeding their families. I don't think it's as simple as being black and white and being like, well, quit. A lot of people have families to feed and themselves to feed. And although The Sims is tied to EA, Maxis itself is, The Sims. And so a lot of simmers are, having questions, pinning a lot of sim gurus against the wall. And I just feel like it's just a very unfortunate event. And I do feel for the Sims team over at Maxis. And because I do feel like some of them genuinely do love the game. So it's unfortunate that their backs are being put against the wall. And they, like I said, they weren't here when that deal was being made. They weren't there. They didn't get a say so. There's a petition, for crying out loud, that a lot of people were not on board for. So I do feel like it's a very interesting topic, and it's, I would love to know your opinions down below in the comments on how you guys feel about the sim gurus. And do you feel some kind of way about them still promoting the Sims, or do y'all feel like they should have just left? I'm curious to know. Again, let's all keep it respectful in the comments, but I've never been, one to shy away people in the comments for stating how they feel. State how you feel. I'm curious. Are y'all here for it, or y'all like absolutely not? But again, we are going to just wrap this up and let me know how y'all feel about that. What's going to happen next? The Sims Creator Program is showing that creators, still believe in Maxis. So even if they've lost faith in EA's brand, I don't know. What do y'all think? And Rachel Franklin, return, could this mean a refocus on the game's roots? Or do y'all feel like it's just a cautious new chapter, since that EA buyout? And do you feel like the Sim Gurus should stand and, stand where they are and put their foot down, or do y'all think that they should leave? Curious to know your opinions down below in the comments. Without all being said, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. And whether you're a silent viewer, you like my videos, you comment on my videos, or you share my videos, at the end of the day, you still showed me some love, and for that, I thank you. I will see you guys all in the next video. Bye.